In Norfolk, Virginia, the Old Dominion Monarchs taking the field with a 3-2 record, 1-1 in Conference USA, while the Marshall Thundering Herd, a perfect 4-0. They open Conference USA play here today.
At the end of the day, he's going to go down as one of the most prolific passers in Marshall history. That's saying something with Byron Leftwich and Chad Pennington have gone there before.
Brennan Burke, along with Ben Lieber. We'll hear from Christian Steckel in just a little bit. Old Dominion has won the toss, and as they have in every game so far, they have elected to receive first. Marshall, even if they had won the toss, has given the ball up in every opportunity that they have gotten. And so they put the ball in play, and we are underway here for Old Dominion and Marshall. And taking a knee is Vincent Lowe.
This Heisman race right now is just nothing to him.
On second down, Cato, a quick hit out to Craig Wilkins, who slipped by a defender and gets the first down, a 10-yard pickup there.
DJ Simon, the middle linebacker, you can see him all over the football field today.
Second and 10, Devin Johnson has some room, and he breaks through, and he stumbles down near the 10-yard line. Christian Byram knocked him out, but Devin Johnson with a 35-yard run. It'll be first and goal.
Well, I just mentioned Devin Johnson, more the north and south guy, but we have a hole like this and a stiff arm like this right there. He gets no contact. That's all blocking up front, does a little bit on his own. Former tight end that they said he's played running back before in high school. He knows he can run the football, and you saw just his skill set right there.
They go right back to him, and he barrels through a few defenders, and he's down inside the 5. That we'll most likely see here today, and not the only successful running back as well, as they go into the end zone. And it's Devin Johnson on the 2-yard carry, and Marshall strikes first. 4th and 6. Taylor Heineke is still on the field. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going for it, but it's certainly possible. Bobby Wilder loves to do it. Last week was the first time in 3 seasons he didn't go for it on at least one 4th down. Heineke is going for it here, and he's got plenty of time. Steps up, still nowhere to throw. He's going to tuck it and try and run, but he's tracked down from behind. Arnold Blackman made the tackle, and it's a turnover on downs.
And it was Jermaine Holmes, the middle linebacker, that ends up making the play. But they showed blitz, backed off, and he basically spied the quarterback. You see Taylor right there, feels the pressure, looking downfield, keeps his eyes downfield. But then when you have a linebacker that's spying for a scrambling quarterback,
3 wide receivers at the top, 1 at the bottom for Cato. But it is Watson with a gaping hole, and he's got some wheels. He's out to the 49. Taking on what he calls the best team they have ever played in his 6 seasons.
And that says a lot, because they played some really, really tough teams. And like you said, they have a culture of winning here. So it doesn't matter who they're facing. These young players and these seniors all the way down the roster, they believe they can win every football game.
Cato back to pass. Over the middle, Frohnapple complete down to the 25-yard line. Paul Hill on the tackle. It was the tight end, Frohnapple, with a grab over the middle.
Well, again, I think the theme for today is going to be about protection with Marshall up front. Cato has all the time in the world to survey the field in that little void underneath the safety in that little window to deliver the football.
Quick throw out to Tommy Schuler on the screen. He's got blockers in front of him as he cuts back, and he's down near the 10-yard line.
This second series is all about throwing the football. So now if you're ODU's defense, you have no idea what to expect. They're going to run it, they're going to throw it downfield, or short receivers.
Watson, touchdown! Right down Main Street for a 10-yard touchdown run for Remy Watson. His 2nd touchdown of the season.
Well, check out this hole again. We talk about the size differential on the line of scrimmage.
Against the consensus pick to win Conference USA, the 4-0 Marshall Thundering Herd. Heineke has thrown for just 15 yards today. And he's intercepted here by Darryl Roberts. He's got some blockers as well, and he's tripped up down to the 10-yard line. Heineke threw an uncharacteristic 3 interceptions last week that got him in trouble against Middle Tennessee State. And Darryl Roberts picks up his first interception of the season.
Well, they call this a stop 7 basically the receiver on the outside is going to stop and hopefully draw that corner down. You run the 7 route in behind it. But Roberts read it right away, understood exactly what they're trying to do, and does a great job of just kind of baiting.
Very short field to give Cato. Or Devin Johnson. Touchdown, Marshall. Just one play, that's all it takes. And Johnson has his second rushing touchdown of the first quarter.
Well, so far, you got to give a lot of props to this offensive line. Cato's had time to throw. The running backs have virtually been untouched until they get to the second, maybe even the third level.
And Marshall will give the football back to Old Dominion. And their last drive stall out. This kick nearly out of the back of the end zone, and here he comes, Vincent Lowe. Out to the 10-yard line, just trying to make something happen. Bad decision. He stopped inside his own 10.
You need to have some success, something to build off of. And obviously a holding penalty to back you up is not going to help.
And the punt is blocked. It is in the end zone. A race to dive on it. Touchdown, Marshall. And it's all going wrong for Bobby Wilder. Raheem Husky with the block. And the touchdown recovery from Brandon Bird.
Just take a look at the rush from the right part of your screen. Basically, when you bring more guys than they can block, those 3 guys that are shielding the punter, they have to get big, stick your arms out. They don't do a good job of that. And you can see why that a lot.
At this block once more.
You're just going to see everybody flood over that right side, and they have guys to block, but they're eaten up by the inside part of the rush. And again, it's just all phases of the game right now for Marshall. It's just too easy. Dominating up front, offense and defensive line.
It's another sold-out crowd here at SB Ballard Stadium. And there's one section full of green shirts. And that's the loudest section in here right now. Everybody else, the stadium that holds just over 20,000. It's been taken out of it. Another big booming kick in the direction of Lowe. And he'll watch this one fly out of the end zone this time. On 2nd and 7. Dumps it off to Johnson, who made the one-handed catch and then is spun down immediately by Neville Hewitt. No gain on the play. Cato has all sorts of time, and that one is intercepted.
A takeaway on defense to bring some life back into this team. But I think upon further review, I think this one's going to be taken back across the face of the receiver, but it looks like to me the ball made contact with the ground first. That's a classic trap. If they look at this again, this is going to be Marshall football.
By Christian Byram, take a look just to the left of the official's leg there. You can see the ball right there hit the ground. And unfortunately for Old Dominion, we have some terrific cameramen here.
That's great camera work, and that's, to me, I think, pretty obvious that the ball hit the ground and that was a trap. Correct. And you're as a replay official, you're looking to see, are the hands or the gloves underneath the football? Is there space between the ground and the football? And on basically every angle that we've seen, that doesn't seem to be the case.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
3rd and 7 for Heineke. Time and a lot of contact, and there's the flag. But it took the guy on the sidelines to throw the flag.
He was over celebration with Taj Letman. As you'll see here, they bring 6 guys, some pressure. Again, good job by Heineke eluding the pressure, skating out to his left.
Pressure. Heineke can't get away this time. Rashad Myers, who had a sack against Akron, picks up another one here. That drops Heineke for 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
You're going to see pressure up the middle. And it's going to be Hewitt, though, off of the edge that finishes him off.
We have seen both of our quarterbacks here today show why they are as good as they are, and look at the numbers. Some of the numbers, as you see on the right side for Taylor Heinicke, are combined between his time in FCS and FBS, but look at what we are watching today. Two of the best quarterbacks over their careers in college football.
I just want to point something out there, that this is all... No, you don't usually see sellouts, and especially a crowd this hungry.
And they're right on top of the field, too. And look at the run by Devin Johnson. He lines up in the shotgun. They'll hand it to Johnson. Left side run. Blockers in front of him as he tries to turn the corner. A nice job. This is the first third down today for Marshall. 3rd and 1. And they give it to the guy averaging 10 yards a carry. And he just continues to bulldoze his way across the 40-yard line. Look at Devin Johnson go. 8 yards. And he was hit at the line of scrimmage.
And he talked about at 6'1", he's learning to run with his pads low. Impressive runner so far.
Cato's got 4 wide receivers, but it is Devin Johnson using the hand to stay on his feet and get a few more. It's a 5-yard pickup. Cato looking for Gene Lewis inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal. Lewis.
You know, those are some of the skills and attributes as players that you just can't teach. That's his kind of God-given ability. And the same result.
Old Dominion only had 1 interception on the season coming into today. They've got 2 here from the same player. On 3rd and 5. Steps up and gets away. Pumps, and he's got nowhere to throw it. Sacked for a loss. And Heinicke can't keep it going on 3rd down. Dropped him for 2 yards. Tamel 1.
Going into this football game, you're going to see a lot of man coverage and a lot of pressure. But again, I have to give a lot of credit to Heinicke because he just kind of slithers in and out of the pocket, does really well lateral movement, keeping his eyes down the football field. If he gets a short corner, he's not afraid to run with the football. So I'm impressed with his toughness, but he's got to remain tough all game because Marshall's going to continue to bring the pressure.
We knew Old Dominion wanted to establish the run today after struggling to do so last week. So far, 18 passes, 16 rushes, both for exactly 67 yards at this point in the football game. Handoff is to Johnson. And he bangs his way across the 40 for 2 yards. Heinicke with good protection. And now he's knocked into and wrapped up. Hewitt the one who brought him down. Crowd climbing into it. Trying to help out the defense. Cato, quick throw to the sideline for Schuler, and it is complete. Thanks, Greg. Is another quick throw to the sidelines. Wilkins makes the catch and is dragged out of bounds. Quick throw to Schuler, complete, and he slips away. Wide open field for Tommy Schuler. Touchdown, Thundering Herd. 42 yards for Tommy Schuler. And it was Christian Byram who has made 2 interceptions that let him slip away.
Well, you're going to see, this is what you call a zero blitz. There's no safeties in the backfield. So if you want to come up and catch the ball in front of you, you have to make that play because there's nobody. And I mean,
mentioned it before the break. Now 37 consecutive games in which Rakeem Cato has thrown a touchdown pass. He is now 1 shy of the NCAA record set by Russell Wilson.
I mean, he's done a lot of impressive things, but that right there might be the most impressive. To throw a touchdown pass in all those games consecutively is just says a lot about him as a quarterback and a lot really for this offense as well.
At the most yards from scrimmage per game this season. Well, Baylor at the top at 641, but how about Marshall almost at 600?
Well, you can already see today the way they run the football, the way they throw the football, keeping every defense that they play off balance. You can see why they have almost 600 yards per game.
For Heinicke, and it is Ray Lowry in the backfield getting the carry. Ran into Jermaine Holm. And if they can get it in the end zone, a chance to cut it 35-14, but Heineke is buried again. Back at the 45-yard line, third sack of the game for Marshall. This one, Raheem Waiters, and a 7-yard loss. Third and forever here for Old Dominion after the sack and the pressure coming again. He just got to throw it away. A little different after Heineke was able to get his team into the end zone. Can they stop Devin Johnson? It's going to be a question here. So far, they have shown they cannot. 15 yards on that carry by Devin Johnson.
And it's going to be a long, long game for this defense.
Johnson, number 2 in Conference USA, rushing 120 yards a game. And look at him continue to rack things up. 9 more to beat. 243 pounds.
Well, check out the stiff arm here at the end. For being a former running back in high school, tight end, back to running back to tight end, now back to running back again, he's got a great skill set and a great understanding of how to run the football.
Mentioned his per game average. He's added 121 yards already as Cato checks down to Fronapple near the sideline.
Those little finite minutia things he's got to figure out.
Cato got hit, but he got the pass off, and it is complete. Deontay McManus.
And you just talk about what he's done, I guess, just managing this whole offense. And I feel like we've talked about and known about Raheem Cato for like 10 years. I mean, he's been in Marshall for that long and been that successful.
Right up the middle, Remy Watson tripped up down near the 15-yard line. Cato taking his time on second down. Watson bounces off the first hit. He's down at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, you want to preach to these guys, finish out each and every game in the season.
High snap, Cato to the end zone. McManus taps his feet down. Touchdown, Marshall. Just putting it up there for Deontay McManus, jumping over Eric Lewis to make the touchdown catch.
Well, you know what's scary about this play is not just that it was a great touch pass on the fade, which is really a kind of a low percentage pass play, but it's the fact that it goes to Deontay McManus, who fills in for Devontae Allen, who's out. Now, Deontay's a freshman. Angela Jean Lewis is a freshman.
As we take another look at the quick release, but nice touch on the throw to McManus in the end zone.
And I can't say it was bad coverage. He just kind of out-muscled the defender and timed up his jump a little bit better. You can see a great build by a freshman, kind of stocky, muscular, lower body build. Again, this is going to be a scary offense no matter who's throwing the football to these guys, because they got a lot of great young talent.
The backup quarterback is Gunnar Holcomb. He's a redshirt sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Play clock running down here. They do get it off. And another vicious hit. This one by James Rouse, preseason Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year, with the exclamation point on the first half of play.
And Devin Johnson has provided that balance running the football. And I got to give a lot of credit to his offensive line. A lot of his runs, big chunky runs, he doesn't even get touched really until he's 5, 6, 7 yards down the field. He shows tremendous ability to lower his shoulder and drive his legs. Saw a great stiff arm earlier in the game. So he's really the total package right now. And going into the football game, wasn't really the home run hitter, but he seems to be today.
Chance to talk with Coach Wilder, and I said to him, what did you say to your team down 35 points at the half? He said, look, we're building this team. We simply want to come out here, compete, and play hard in the second half. That's what I'll measure this team by today. I said, Coach, in the trenches, you guys are getting beat up front. How do you get people to the first and second level? He said, look, they're bigger than us. They're stronger than us. Honest and refreshing. I will tell you this, he's positive. I don't know if he thinks his team can get back in this one, but he knows what he's doing here at Old Dominion. He's building for the future, and the next 30 minutes will prove a little bit about the character of this program. Guys?
They've won a lot of football games, but sometimes you're just going to play opponents that are going to outmatch you in virtually every area.
There's Devin Johnson running on first down again. He picks up a nice chunk. On Marshall's first possession of the half, they were 4 for 4 on third downs in half one. And they keep giving it to Devin Johnson. Look at the speed lead, and it keeps on going down to the 27-yard line. Eric Lewis finally tackled him, but a 43-yard run for Devin Johnson.
And at that down and distance, you don't understand what you're going to face. Are they going to throw the ball? Are they going to run the ball? They've had so much success. Right guard Michael Selby with the nice pull from the backside, kicking out the end man on the line of scrimmage. And once again, Marshall with a huge lane to run through, and Johnson rumbles down for a first down.
Here he goes again, nearly took out an official on his way by, and he picks up another first down. 8 yards, or excuse me, more than that. Got him a first down. He was averaging 11.5 yards per carry, and he just keeps on picking them up. 13 yards on that game. As he hands it off to Devin Johnson, and they finally wrestle him down, holding on for dear life, the linebacker Martez Simpson. 4th down, and they're going for it here. Johnson powering through for the touchdown. Devin Johnson has done it again. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the football game.
An unbelievable view out to the field, as you can see. The food, the beverage, everybody having fun. Our thanks to Mr. Ballard and company for letting us come up here and enjoy their suite for a little bit. Guys, this is the type of
terrific stadiums that we've had the pleasure of visiting this year. Heineke, down he goes again. 9-yard loss this time. James Rouse, DJ Hunter, all over the Monarch quarterback.
Well, once again, we talk about this pressure. Rouse with just the arm over, swim to the outside, making it look so easy to get to the quarterback right now. And I know that we're just starting the second half, but I have a feeling that you've got a quarterback who's constantly churning his legs, worked on his pad level all during the bye week, and it is really shown today.
This is not Johnson, but Watson. And they give it to him again, and he's got a first down.
He could have a huge second half.
Cato to throw to Schuler. And Schuler able to duck down and get to the 47-yard line. And nobody, Ben, has been able to hang with this Marshall offense. Or their defense, really, as they'll run the ball forward here. Now, they are just starting conference play. But Bobby Wilder, head coach for Old Dominion, in watching game film of Marshall, watched the game against Akron. He called it disheartening because Akron last week went out and beat Pitt 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Marshall absolutely destroyed Akron. We're up 28-0 in the first quarter. They were just absolutely on fire. As this rush goes for a yard here. And who knows what, the sky is the limit for the Marshall Thundering Herd this season with Cato and all of his pieces and a defense to match it.
Flying to the football, you're able to play press man coverage to make life really uncomfortable for any opposing quarterback. That's a huge thing and a big recipe for success for this team, because we always know that Marshall can throw the ball.
Beating up on other teams by 30 points a game, which they have done through the first 4 and have a chance to do here today. They're not going to really pick up a whole lot of ground unless other teams start to stumble. But here is Cato doing the smart thing in Norfolk, Virginia. It's about an 8-hour ride, but there are plenty of green shirts watching a touchdown run from Remy Watson. This one for 13 yards, and Marshall has 55. As they send out the Norwegian Vidvik to kick it away. Inside the 5. Vincent Lowe couldn't make it to the 20. As he was taken down with a pretty good hit by DJ Hunter. Again, we've seen him make a few special teams tackles today. A couple of backs with Heineke. And swallowed up immediately for a loss of 3.
Charlie Weiss getting fired. Clint Bowen takes over now as the interim head coach. See how that team responds to the new head coach and kind of a new culture, a new atmosphere around there.
3rd and goal here from inside the 1. Trying to let Lowry finish it, but he is swallowed by Cortez Carter and the Marshall defense.
Well, they're going to have to line it up and do it again. He just does a great job of reading where the blocks are coming from and scraping tight to the offensive lineman. Nobody there to block him. You can make that tackle all day. Good job of making the sure tackle as well.
Rakeem Cato not with them. His day is done, but he has passed Byron Leftwich in career total offensive yards in Marshall history. And next up on the list, Chad Pennington.
Oh, and he's going to get there too. The only thing that's really holding him back is the fact that they're running the football so well. But if they get in a tight game, the running game's not there, and he has to rely on his arm, and these dominant receivers that they have, no doubt he'll get on top of that chart.
Gunnar Holcomb is the new quarterback, and his first pass is complete to Deontay McManus.
The coaching staff as well, they're putting a program together. So this loss is just another stepping stone.
Holcomb to pass, and it is complete over the middle. Nice ground by Ryan Juracek, another true freshman. Falante Misher making the tackle. And
these kids have a lot of things to figure out as a young person coming into college, managing football, academic, all the time in college football. And you see it all the time with Rakeem Cato throwing these quick outs to these receivers, oftentimes behind the line of scrimmage. And you just saw him kind of airmail that one. Those are tough throws. And I think we kind of take for granted that those balls just get thrown out there and it's an easy throw. But I think you look at Gunnar right there and that kind of errant throw, that's still a tough throw to set your feet in timing, in rhythm, get it out there with some zip and never know what you're going to get. But he kind of stepped up today.
Right through the middle, Brandon Bird. He's down at the 20, just shy of a first down. So this Brandon Bird rushed for 43 yards and a touchdown on 4 carries against Akron. And here he is continuing to move forward, and he's got his team a first. They are 7 yards shy of 600 here today. And a knee from Gunnar Holcomb. Doc Holliday on his way to go meet Bobby Wilder near midfield. And the first one over towards the sideline to shake the hand of Bobby Wilder is actually Rakeem Cato. As Marshall celebrating a 56-14 win here over Old Dominion, they jumped out to a 28-0 lead in the first quarter. As Ben Marshall picked to win Conference USA, I'm assuming you're as impressed as I am after seeing them in person for the first time this year.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we looked at the stats, we watched the games. It was all about balance, running the football, a great compliment to Rakeem Cato and his bevy of wide receivers that are absolutely playmakers, each and every one of them. Now they finally have some balance. And, you know, when you find balance, especially the way Devin Johnson runs the football, Remy Watson and Stu Butler come in and spell him as well. This is a dangerous, dangerous football team. That team to make the playoff.
Devin Johnson today, 20 rushes, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, and maybe the most impressive, if you were doing the math on it, 9.9 yards every time he touched the football.
Well, and as much as I'd love to give a lot of credit to him, because he deserves a lot of credit, just churning, earned a lot of those yards, but that offensive line today was just crushing people, getting up to the second level, getting a big body on the linebacker. Old Dominion didn't have any answers. And then right when you think you have him figured out, they bring in Remy Watson, who's a little bit quicker, a little more elusive. So just really the talent level in the backfield is starting to match the receivers for this Marshall offense, and that's a dangerous combination.
And for Marshall on the other side of the football, their defense matched their offense again. Taylor Heineke, one of the best passers we've seen in college football. He didn't really have a whole lot of time today.
No, he really didn't. And they knew that they're going to face this type of pressure. Again, faced a lot of man coverage on the outside. They thought they had a game plan to face it, but then when you get on the field and in reality and not just in the classroom, this is a fast defense. They come at you from all angles. They're very well coached. So when they run these blitzes, they're very effective at using tight angles, beating guys off the line of scrimmage. You know, Taylor, as much as he tried, just could not elude quick enough or enough to make some plays. So this defense, again, much like the running game and the pass game for Marshall, is very, very good.
Tough day for Old Dominion here in Norfolk. We're back to wrap up a 56-14 win for Marshall over the Monarchs.